Hi guys! So today I wanted to talk to you about some thoughts I've been having in relation to feminism, what it is to be a woman and all these sorts of things. Recently there's been an explosion, I think, online of people talking about being a woman, being persecuted because of being a woman. Certain events like the one in America a few weeks ago have highlighted even further what it is to be a woman and how men, some men anyway, still feel themselves to be more powerful than women and feel that women owe them certain things. And this has really got me to thinking, and I don't think I have any clear views, but I just wanted to sort of share my thoughts that I've been having. Basically, a lot of the articles and things that I'm seeing are encouraging me to see myself differently. So there have been a few YouTube videos that I've seen. The first one was a French video where the genders had been switched. So the men were the weaker gender and the women were the more powerful gender. And it was really interesting to see, and it's very interesting when you see it all happen to a man, because in your head it shouldn't be happening that way. And whereas for us it's perfectly normal to not expect, but you know, if we're walking down the street and we walk past some builders and they say something to us, that's not weird, you know. But it's very weird seeing that happening to men, and in this whole play type thing, then it results in the man getting sexually abused. And it really bothered me seeing that. I mean, obviously seeing abuse of any kind is horrible, but I was really perturbed by the fact that women were doing it to the man, and that sort of didn't sit with what I think about the world, which is an awful thing, because I know that women do attack men as well, but it was, I don't know, it was interesting how that sat uncomfortably with me. And also at the end of the video, a woman's walking along, and she sort of, as she's walking, she becomes the weaker sex again. You can just see it in the whole way that she walks. It's so normal to walk home late in an evening and you're walking home alone or whatever, and the way a woman walks is very different to the way a man walks, and I'd never really considered that before. But obviously the woman is a little more tense, she has to be more alert to things, maybe carrying keys in her hand so that she's ready to get in the house or to get an attacker or whatever. Then there was a thing on The Guardian of a woman asking men questions that women have been asked that are inappropriate. Like, hey, do you want to have sex with me right now? Or have you and your friend ever made out? And that was also interesting to see how some of the men reacted in terms of being like, yeah, all right, and also interesting in terms of how offended some of the men got. But this is something that women have to women do not have to deal with it, but they do put up with it because it's something that just happens. Another thing that kind of opened my eyes was the Yes All Women campaign, and this opened my eyes. It's me not thinking that it's happening to women alone. So one Yes All Women thing that I saw was, paraphrasing it slightly, yes all women because at the end of the night you have to text when you get home okay, or something like that. It just never occurred to me that we're doing this because we're women and that men don't do it. Guys don't go to each other, oh, text me that you got home okay. And what strikes me is, if I didn't know this, and I'm definitely a feminist and someone who for a long time has been thinking about female issues, you know, I've never been shy about calling myself a feminist. I've never been shy about calling people out if they say something offensive and derogatory to women. So if I didn't think about these things, then how can men be expected to be so aware of what's going on? I think I know one guy who would call himself a feminist. Otherwise, I'm not so sure that my guy friends would. They might stand up for women and think that women's rights are important, but they wouldn't necessarily call themselves feminists. Likewise, they might walk you home at the end of an evening or say, yeah, women should definitely get paid the same amount as men. but they might not fight the fight and be so outraged. In fact, I guess the reason the Yes All Women campaign came up was because men, in the first instance, were annoyed that people were tarnishing men with the same brush, and they were saying, not all men want to go and kill women. I mean, I don't have any answers, but what we need is to get men to be angry about what's happening with women. And not just because it could be your sister, it could be your mother, but because it's wrong, in the same way as we would fight for LGBTQ things just because it's right for them to have equal rights and to be allowed to get married if they want to and all this stuff, not just because we have a gay friend or whatever. It's very easy to just get used to society and to just think, you know what, I just have to expect for a guy to beep his horn at me when I'm going for a run. It's just what happens. But we shouldn't accept it, we should get angry and we should fight back. And so should guys who wouldn't want that done to them and who wouldn't want it done to others. Men have to start getting angry. Men have to start seeing how we are living and how loads of people are living. It's not just women, it's anyone who's a bit different. And we need to fight so that everyone can walk down the street without being nervous and afraid. I haven't got any answers. I don't know how we'll do it, but that's a realisation I've come to. Okay guys, I'll see you next week. Bye! Blah.